Hi, friends. It's Teresa here with another episode of What I Track and Why I Track It. Today, we're actually going to do 3 of the things that I track and why I track them because I think they're related. They're related to some of the other things as well, but I think they flow well together. So, one of the things that I like to track that also goes along with food and with stress and with so much of it is what cravings am I battling today and what was my response to it. So it's just a little place to, a few lines to write what you were craving and how you dealt with it. I think it's important to, as we look back over time and we might be able to look and see, oh, I was really struggling with cravings this day, but I didn't have any movement, or I had a lot of stress in my life, or I didn't really eat on plan. And how did those other things play into the cravings? Another thing like to keep track of there is how did I deal with my cravings? Um, Did I give in to them? And you know what? This is just for you and maybe to share with trusted friends. So don't feel like you have to lie on it. Don't cheat yourself by putting down incorrect information on any of this, because that only hurts you. It only hurts the ability of those who you might be working with, your doctors, your coaches, your friends, to give you good, useful advice if you are dishonest about it. And I know this because I have been in the past, and it didn't help me at all. So learn from me. um, so when it comes to the responses, there are some things that we can do to help. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is essential oils. So they have a part to play in helping with cravings. They also have a part to play in helping with your mood, with your stress levels. Um, I like to include them as part of my morning or evening routine. Um, but when it comes specifically to cravings, and I can go into more detail on others if you would like, and tell you about how I utilize essential oils and some of those other ways. But for instance, with cravings, this is one that did not work on me. But people can take clove oil, put a few drops in a little bit of water, swish it around in their mouth, and then they're not going to want to eat anything else for a while. So, like if you were going to a party or you were struggling, because there's cake in the fridge and you want to eat it, if you were to take a couple of drops of clove essential oil, I wouldn't put it directly in your mouth, but put some in water, swish it around, spit it out. That could keep you from wanting to eat anything else for the rest of the day. JP told me once that happened for I don't know, some high percentage, like 98% of the people he worked with. And he's like, and the others, I think they had psychological issues. Well, I'm one of those who it didn't work for. It might work for 10 minutes, but after 10 minutes, it didn't. And maybe I just wasn't making mine strong enough. I don't know. But also sometimes just doing what they call a essential oil balm, put a little bit of peppermint in on my hand and then sniff it in. Sometimes just getting that, clearing my sinuses, all that kind of stuff kind of distracts me from the cravings. It also helps improve my moods. So sometimes the use of essential oils can be a really good tool for managing cravings. They're also good for boosting your mood, relieving stress. Incorporate them into your routines and track how they support you in your wellness journey. So I usually would just put on there. I used to work in an office where I could diffuse essential oils, and each of us in our office suite had a essential oil diffuser. So we'd take turns. Our office frequently smelled like peppermint. They actually have blends that are made specifically to boost your mood. There's one called Hope that I love. I wear it as perfume. It's wonderful. And the other thing is green powders. So they're a really good tool for managing cravings. So after you're done eating your vegetables in the morning, or when you're drinking some of your water that you're trying to get in for hydration, put a little bit of green powder in your water and just sip it throughout the day, and it kind of helps keep the cravings down. It can be hard to get used to drinking green powders in your water, it doesn't necessarily taste good. But, put a squeeze of lemon or orange in with it, or a little, if you do it more frequently, the more frequently that you drink the greens in the water, the higher thing of green powders you can put in. There are some now that have a little bit of artificial sweetener or sweetness to them that you can buy. I think Clean Simple Eats has some green powders. I've only ever used the ones that are just plain old green powders. And I never loved them a lot. And so sometimes for me, that was the deterrent for my cravings as well. I can either go drink this green water to get rid of it, my craving, or just deal with it. And sometimes I choose to just deal with it because, I didn't love it. But when I did get to the point where I was drinking them more often in my water, I got used to it, and I got to where I kind of liked them. So I would give that a shot. And we only have a few more to go, but I will be back again soon with another What I Track and Why.